Some want the base back in Afghanistan. Why do some want the base back? What makes it so special?
A secluded valley in northern Afghanistan, surrounded by high mountains, like sky-high walls standing guard. During the day, this place is silent, and at night, only the whistling sound of the wind can be heard. However, a great mystery lies hidden in the heart of these secluded mountains, and the epicenter of that mystery is Bagram Airbase. Many might be thinking, an airbase in a mountainous region, that's to be expected. But what if I told you this base wasn't just a symbol of military power, but that it was here the invisible map of world politics was drawn? It was at this very base that it was decided who would hold power in the Middle East, where a new war would begin, and where the dream of peace would end. Bagram Airbase is located in the northern Kabul province of Afghanistan, just 60 kilometers from the capital, Kabul. From the outside, it would seem like just another ordinary military base. Needless to say, inside it was a completely different world. Many said it was like a small piece of America, a city within Afghanistan. Do you know why? Because inside this base, there was a hospital, a cinema, a gym, and even a burger shop. Here, soldiers would forget the nightmares of the war outside and live a slice of American life. Yet, outside, hidden behind the mountains, there were only ruins, the smell of gunpowder, and unsolved mysteries. Bagram Base was so vast that it took more than half an hour to drive from one end to the other. However, China, Russia, and America do not want to control this place just because of its size. In fact, this base is not only important for Afghanistan, it is a geopolitical key for the whole of Asia. During the war in Afghanistan, Bagram was America's main base. From here, drone strikes, secret missions, and even the entire war strategy against the Taliban were conducted. For America, this base was always a center for displaying their power. During the Soviet era, when Russian troops entered Afghanistan, Bagram was the most strategically important location for them. Even Russia still knows well that if one ever needs to project power in Central Asia, Bagram could be the most effective base. On the other hand, China is trying to bind the whole of Asia into a trade route through its Belt and Road Initiative, and Afghanistan is right at its center. Therefore, controlling Bagram means China can monitor Asia's trade, mineral resources, and energy flow. In simple terms, Bagram is a chessboard where a single move can change the outcome of the entire game. Whichever country controls this base will dominate the airspace and geopolitics of the whole of Asia. Now think again, an airbase standing in a secluded valley surrounded by mountains. If China, Russia, and America are constantly lying in wait, hoping to capture it, then how important must it truly be? Although this base began its journey in the 1950s to aid the Soviet Union during the Afghan War, it transformed into the world's most talked about war center. Ever since the US invasion of Afghanistan in 2001, Bagram became such a strange place where it wasn't just warplanes taking off and landing. Activities were also conducted that no one dared to speak about openly. Many claim that Bagram was the center for secret activities of intelligence agencies, where the designs of Afghanistan's internal power and international politics were drawn up. Moreover, many believe that people whose existence was never officially acknowledged were held captive here. However, there is considerable debate about these matters, and none of these claims can be stated with certainty. After hearing all this, questions may have started to arise in your mind. So, what really happened inside this vast empire? Was it merely a place to display military power, or was a much bigger game being played behind the scenes? One that required so much effort to keep hidden from public view. And why do many believe that Bagram was not just an airbase, but a place where decisions were made about who would survive the game and who would be lost to the pages of history? Bagram Base can be called the true nerve center of America's continuous 20-year mission in Afghanistan. From here, warplanes took to the sky. From here, spy satellites and drones conducted surveillance. And it was here that every decision on the battlefield was made. In simple terms, the remote control for the entire war was right here. But the real game lies hidden in Bagram's geographical location. It can be called the crossroads of Central Asia, because surrounding the base are some of the world's most powerful countries. For example, to the east is China, to the west is Iran, to the north are Russian-influenced Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, and to the south are India and Pakistan, whose conflict is nothing new. Now imagine, if you had Bagram in your hands, what advantages would you have? You can keep an eye on the entire region at once. You can dispatch warplanes in any direction within just a few hours. Meaning, the country that controls it will be able to cast an invisible shadow, not just over Afghanistan, but over the whole of Asia. But the question may arise as to why America held on to Bagram Airfield for so many years. Was it just a game of occupation, or is there another mystery behind it? To find the answers to these questions, we need to shift our focus elsewhere. Afghanistan is rich not only geographically, but also in natural resources. Research has revealed that beneath Afghanistan's soil lie trillions of dollars worth of mineral resources, such as lithium, rare earth metals, copper, gold, etc. These resources are essential for future technology, from smartphones to electric car batteries. Many believe that one of the reasons for America's long presence was to keep an eye on these resources, although no conclusive evidence has been found. Besides, America had claimed that Bagram was their main base for combating Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. And for all these reasons, America's gaze was fixed on this region. Now, let's move on to another topic. If you look at the map of Afghanistan, you will see China's Xinjiang province to the east of Bagram Airfield. And this region is extremely sensitive for China, where ethnic sensitivities and security issues have long been a headache for them. Therefore, if Bagram is used again as an active base by any foreign power, they will be able to monitor the situation inside Xinjiang from just a few hundred kilometers away. This is a direct strategic risk for China. This is why China has publicly warned several times that Afghanistan should not become a new center for any foreign military bases.
Respects Afghanistan's independence, sovereignty and territorial integrity. The future and destiny of Afghanistan should be held in the hands of the...
According to them, it could bring instability to the entire region. Many believe that China's warning regarding the Bagram base is not just about border security, but is also linked to future economic corridors, resource trade, and the struggle to maintain its influence in Central Asia. Because when America took control of this region, no one was more worried than China. But suddenly, one day, this anxiety of China's came to an end. In July 2021, the United States, the most powerful country in the world, which had held the base as a symbol of its power for 2 decades, silently vacated Bagram Airfield in the dead of night. No one even noticed. As the sun rose in the morning, the locals saw that the base, where fighter jets once roared and thousands of soldiers were deployed under tight security, was now completely empty. It felt as if time had stood still. At that time, many assumed that the Taliban would now make Bagram a new symbol of their military power. The vast runway, advanced military installations, modern infrastructure, all of this has now fallen into their hands. But surprisingly, that didn't happen. The Taliban did enter, but surprisingly, they almost ignored the base. Everything was left to gather dust and fall into disuse. It felt as if this vast base was a silent, ghostly city, where there were signs of power but no use for it. Now the question arises, why? Why didn't the Taliban use this base? In fact, not using the base was a strategic decision by the Taliban. They knew that if they turned Bagram completely into their own base, international attention would once again turn towards Afghanistan like a storm. Especially the United States and China, these two superpowers would then become vigilant once again. And that was a completely unacceptable situation for the Taliban. This is where the hint of a secret game begins. By keeping Bagram inactive, the Taliban sent an unannounced message. We want to remain invisible for now. We don't want to come to anyone's attention. Because Bagram was not just a military base. It was the focal point of international diplomacy. Using this base meant inviting a storm in world politics, so the Taliban chose the path of silence for the time being. And this is where the story becomes even more mysterious. Who knows, maybe one day Bagram will again become a symbol of some new power, but the mystery doesn't end here. Locals claim that some parts inside the base have not yet been fully revealed to the public. Some say that a foreign intelligence agency's surveillance is still active here, although there is no confirmed proof of this yet. But at present, Bagram is silent, the vast runway lies empty, and the sound of that former bustle is gone from the control tower. But history says that such places never remain silent for long. Bagram is actually a power projection platform. Whoever takes control of it will be able to influence not only Afghanistan, but the politics of the entire Central Asian region. So the question is no longer confined to Kabul. It has spread to Washington, Beijing, Moscow, and New Delhi. Just imagine, if China remains cautious due to the Xinjiang border, Russia is concerned about protecting the Central Asian corridor, and America seeks an opportunity to return, then this base could become the epicenter of a new geopolitical conflict at any moment. Added to this is the question of natural resources. Many have called the lithium and rare earth metals hidden beneath Afghanistan's soil the oil of the future. Global powers know that whoever controls these resources will control the technology of the next generation. So, does Bagram's future hint at a new conflict? Or will this base be the starting point of a secret competition? One that we might not see with our own eyes, but whose impact will be felt on the entire world's balance of power. Just as the Soviets once thought they would last forever, America held that same belief. But history has proven that Bagram never remains permanently in anyone's hands. Perhaps today's silence is just waiting for tomorrow's storm. And from which direction will that storm come? China, Russia, America, or at the hands of someone else? That is now the greatest mystery of our time. Dear viewers, don't forget to share your opinion about this Bagram Airbase in the comments. You can also let us know what topic you'd like to see a video on next. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it. Also, if you are new to the channel, subscribe and stay with Geopolitics. Thank you.